Avant garbage.
Silence, you funny fool!
Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, those who lie betwixt or beyond the realms of mortal understanding. This is the fourth episode of Avant Garbage, totally not being recorded a day late.
Well, there was the one bonus episode in there.
Well, yeah.
Which isn't a real episode.
Would you
Since I wasn't there. I'm the most important part of this show.
Would you care to explain why we were late?
Car crash.
Yeah, that's the story you're sticking to?
Yep.
You know what? I admire your moxie.
I died in a car crash.
I admire your moxie. This episode we're going to be talking about, much like the sort of bonus episode, but it's the one with...
And you should be honored that I'm recording this from the hospital.
With, not my co-host here, Chillery.
Come on. One episode, one bonus episode with me not on it, and now I'm no longer your co-host.
No, I was saying...
Slippery slope.
I was saying much like last week, where I recorded an episode without you, where we are talking about another bad movie today. Because, we spoiled you guys by giving you legitimate movie recommendations in the first two episodes. And now we're talking about horrible
now
garbage.
It's time for your punishment.
Some might say avant garbage.
Yeah.
What movie are we talking about today?
Okay, so basically it's this movie where you need to ring the 2 bells of awakening, and then you gotta collect the 4 Lord Souls to open the door to the kiln of the first flame.
Yeah.
And then you'll duel Gwyn, Lord of Cinder, to make your choice on whether you link the flame or decide not to.
I think it's the plot of Dark Souls.
Oh, shit. Fuck. Wait.
Uh-huh.
Was I supposed to watch the movie? I thought I just had to play Dark Souls.
Alright, I'll cover for you, okay?
Okay.
So, the movie we were supposed to be watching this week...
That both of us did watch.
Totally.
And not play Dark Souls in the toilet at 4 a.m.
Was Something in the Woods. A movie, arguably.
Yeah.
I found this, at random on Prime, a year ago. Mm-hmm. Because there's this entire genre of low-budget, shitty Bigfoot movies, and I fucking love it. I could do an entire series, much like Monkey Jones', Monkey Box series, where he goes and reviews monkey movies.
Mm-hmm.
I could definitely do one on bad Bigfoot movies. But it is Something in the Woods. It's incredibly low budget. It came out in 2019, I believe.
Yeah. There's 3 great actors in a movie that involves 20 characters.
Yeah.
Did you take notes on it?
I did not, but I remember the plot pretty well.
Okay, because I don't have notes prepared, but there are a couple of scenes specifically that I think were hilariously bad.
If you want, I'll bring up just a
general plot overview so we make sure we don't miss anything?
Yeah.
Alright, I'll stall while we're going. Okay, guys, so...
No, I want you to talk about the opening.
You're going to want to put 40 points into Dex and 40 points into Strength in this movie. And make sure you don't forget to level up Vitality. Wait, am I doing okay? Okay, no, anyways, let's kill that bit.
Okay, there is no
Alright.
synopsis because it's a tiny movie. We're shooting from the hip here.
Okay, we're shooting from the hip or the penis.
Yeah.
Depending
on
your point of view.
So, the opening of this movie has the most ingenious... double flashback.
Wait, can we talk about the faux Stanley Kubrick intro sequence?
Okay,
first?
yeah. Okay, good. Talk about it.
Basically, they tried to do the shining car scene, but they lacked sort of anything that made it that great. They had I think they had an okay song. I don't remember it being terrible.
No, but it wasn't chilling like The Shining.
Yeah, it wasn't chilling. And then they played a radio show, a fake radio show about Bigfoot over the music.
Yeah.
And they kept cutting inside of the car and changing camera angles instead of the one shot. So they really failed to make it. That's really going to be the theme of this movie.
Yeah.
Is that they're trying for a bunch of scenes that I know are classic horror scenes, but they
are not Stanley Kubrick.
They're missing the fundamentals of what really made scenes scary. Like scenes, not even like ripping scenes, but also just scenes that are in almost every horror movie in some way, shape, or form. And the movie just really misses a lot of the elements that really make things scary.
And what really pisses me off about some of it, is it occasionally achieves like, you're like, oh, that's a good beat, that's a really good thing they included there.
Well, never really good, but
no, but then they bungle it up whenever they're gaining steam.
Yeah.
Don't you have like, I think we talked about this one. Don't you have like I don't know what to call it, but like a slightly terrified admiration for The Shining, like in the like you listed as one of your top 20 pieces of art. I meant, like you said, it's not a fun movie to watch. But
yeah. My take on it is that it's not fun to watch, but art shouldn't have to be fun or pleasant, even.
Like Dark Souls.
No. Dark Souls is fun.
You say while you're, like, throwing stuff around your room because Bernstein and Smo or whatever beat you?
I didn't actually rage out at that boss. That one only.
Did you throw anything around your room at any point?
I only threw my controller directly down into a pillow on my bed. Mm-hmm. So it was Gwyn. That was the only one I threw anything. Mm-hmm. I threw my controller directly downwards into a blanket and a pillow on my bed.
I think you were playing against Gwyn, like just on your Switch in handheld mode, and you like started the boss fight, and then then you lost it. I think I saw you go through like all 5 stages of grief in like a couple seconds.
Alright, we should probably stop talking about Dark Souls.
Oh, who gives a fuck? But yeah.
Yeah, so, I guess the weird people that watch this podcast have probably already played Dark Souls New Game Plus 7. But you haven't, so roast him in the comments, please.
Yeah.
Tell him.
So our intrepid...
that you eat lettuce and
not
soup.
Even protagonist. I guess like the guy who gets the story going. He drives along the road, listening to a
Bigfoot radio station.
Who's like, I believe in Bigfoot. You think he's
Bigfoot in the woods, motherfucker.
Something. Oh god! Several times throughout the movie, they say there's something in the woods.
Yeah.
And I really want to like.
And those lines, it's not just like sometimes the movie does that
cleverly,
and it's kind of bad, but they like okay, it was written well. Like it feels like they worked backwards. Yeah. They took the title from the line, but that one it definitely felt like they wrote it with the title in mind.
Yeah, like in Quentin Tarantino's 1992 masterpiece, when Tim Roth looks at the camera and exclaims, "Are we some sort of Reservoir Dogs?"
Yeah, or in when Samuel L. Jackson looks at the camera and says, "This is a real Pulp Fiction."
It was immediately shot after that.
And
line.
then plays.
Okay, so our guy, he shows up to
the man, the dude.
Yeah, he shows up to his father's house.
And shoots his dad.
I think not that, really. I'm just clarifying that for the listeners who I guarantee have not seen this movie.
Yeah, he did not shoot his dad.
And I think
until later, no, he doesn't actually ever shoot his dad.
And I think his dad is one of the few actors you actually enjoyed throughout the movie.
Yeah, no, the actor who played his dad actually, his dad actually seems to put effort into the character, and the way he gave his lines was the only time the movie ever piqued my interest, and that was because the way he said it sounded like he was definitely hiding something about Bigfoot.
Yeah.
And he was the only character where I felt like my interest or like the things I was thinking about his delivery were intentional. Well, the rest of them, there were some actors that were not bad, but I think he was actually a good actor because his delivery felt the things I thought about the way he said the lines seemed to be intentional rather than just a byproduct of accidentally good acting.
And so he comes to his dad and he's like, "Dad, in the old days, you ever have a run-in with Bigfoot?
You ever fight Bigfoot for some reason? I don't even know why I would ask you. I mean, pretty contrived, right?"
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because I remember I think I actually laughed at how terrible it is, because he just walks in like, "You heard about them Bigfoot?" And he's like, looks around, makes sure no one's around, he's like,
"Oh,
don't tell your mother."
You're forgetting the fact that when he first shows up, he has dinner with his parents for like a random scene that doesn't matter.
He just talks to his dad about normal shit.
Goes and eats dinner.
And then asks him about Bigfoot while they're smoking on the porch. Or maybe he asks him at the end of the pre-dinner scene, and then they have dinner.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and also, they just jump cut to them finishing their dinner, instead of showing any shot of them eating.
Yeah.
So they just jump cut to them already leaving the dining room. Because I feel like you have to at least, you jump cut, they're walking inside, you cut to them eating dinner. And then, them having some conversation, and then they leave. But instead, like, you could cut to the last minute of their dinner, but they literally just jump cut to when they were both had already left the table and were walking outside to go talk about Bigfoot on the porch.
Yeah. And so his dad gives a flashback to back when he was a logger.
Yep.
And then his friend, who's also a logger,
Just told him about how he saw something in the woods.
Kill me.
The past weekend or week.
And then it does a flashback.
And then it does a flashback to the story he's telling.
Who's the friend of the dad in the old-timey sequence is the real protagonist?
Yes. So the protagonist is now listening, from our point of view, our protagonist is a guy who's being told, who's telling a story, or our protagonist is a guy fighting Bigfoot.
Yeah.
As being told by that guy to his coworker, as being told by that guy's by the coworker to his son.
Correct. There's a lot of layers to it.
Yeah, like a ogre.
It's like
or onion.
It's like Star Wars. It rhymes like poetry.
Yeah, it's
really
quite beautiful. I think it may be one of the greatest choices in film history.
And so one of the things I'm going to say is I think, like, the first thing we see is it not...
Bigfoot's dick.
Yeah. Our guy is at the logging camp, right? And then his friend, some guy's drinking on the job.
Oh, yes! There's a whole thing where some guy's drinking on the job.
Yeah.
And this is a subplot that's entirely disconnected
from Bigfoot
from the movie, but it has multiple scenes throughout the movie. It's just completely disconnected from the rest of the movie.
Yeah. And the guy's drinking on the job, so he makes him leave, but not before...
He docks a day and says if it ever happens again, you're freaking fired.
Yeah.
And then his friend tries to defend him, and then he's like, you're an asshole, basically.
It's a riveting scene, if you can't tell. And then as...
it's not terrible writing, but it's just not compelling.
As he's headed home, we see a shot of his son.
His son sees
something in the woods. But his son's like playing with a toy airplane. He's like, vroom, 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 vroom. And then he sees... Now, I'm going to give them some props. They waited for like a solid hour to bust their Bigfoot nut of showing it fully.
Yeah.
Because just like with like something...
I don't think it was that long, actually.
They waited a good amount of time, at least.
At least a couple of Bigfoot adjacent scenes before they actually showed him.
But the issue is, they never should have actually seen it, unless it's like very last the climax. Because when it's that low budget, you have to keep... Your imagination will always be scarier than whatever like cheesy rubber suit they've scrounged together.
Mm-hmm.
So...
The suit actually looks pretty decent.
No, it looks pretty decent. So what I'm saying is, because it's just an ape man, and there's no real horror once we actually see the ape man, they should have just not blown their Bigfoot load until like the final scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a pretty decent thing where the kid sees something.
He goes in and runs to tell his mom.
Our guy's back home for...
Oh, no, hold on. Really important part of that scene that they made sure to highlight is Bigfoot is really smelly.
Yeah, he's very smelly. Because part of it is... Whoever the filmmaker was felt like a weird, like, journalistic integrity in the fact that this is loosely based off of a real, well, quote unquote real, but a real, like, Bigfoot, like, sort of thing in which he terrorized this small town.
I didn't know that.
The Beast of Boggy Creek. Yeah, it's actually amazing.
Why do they always give their local Bigfoots the dumbest ass names?
Well, it's just the Beast. Like, they just happen to be Boggy Creek. They can't
Yeah,
really
just call him the Beast. Don't add your town name if your town... What motherfucker named a town Boggy Creek?
Some, like, really sad prospector.
Like, well, I think it's both a creek and a bog.
He probably had a beaver as a wife, and he was just trying to find a place to settle.
I guess.
No, the Boggy Creek Beast is why I'm almost sure this was based off it. It's because A, it's set in Texas. Texas Bigfoot is an angle you see normally, and there's one family that specifically had like a bunch of encounters that model like exactly to the set of encounters they had. And also, like, Boggy Creek is unique, and like, you know how Bigfoot's normally just in the woods and sometimes you see him and then that's it. Boggy Creek Bigfoot has like an attitude. Like, he's coming in
treating it like he's a real guy.
What?
Boggy Creek Bigfoot has an attitude.
No, what I mean, like the sightings they tell of it, where it's like, it came in and stole my scrambled eggs.
It has an extremely high aggression stat.
Yeah, but like the stories they all tell of it sounds more, and you can chalk this up to probably just like some drunken redneck doing shit. Mm-hmm. But he's like a frat bro Bigfoot who's going out doing dumb shit to people. That's probably what this is based on. But our protagonist comes home, and he's like, I saw a hairy man.
We had dinner, right?
Yeah, they had dinner. And over dinner, the little boy's like, I saw
a hairy man in the woods, and he smelled.
That's rude. His name's Mick Foley. Okay, but he thinks it's probably a bear, right?
Yeah.
And so he goes and he's like, what does he do next after this? Like, he's gonna...
This is why we needed to find a synopsis.
Yeah, there exists none.
Yeah, well, okay. We'll just start talking more generally from here, but
No way, I got it.
you got it?
Okay. He thinks there's probably a bear.
Doesn't he set up a trap, goes hunting for him?
Not yet. Because there's one more encounter in which I believe his other son is on a bike, and he sees the monster.
Oh yeah, no, there's someone like drives by, and they see him.
Yeah.
And then they're eating again.
Yeah.
Man, this guy just really loves using eating.
Yeah.
As a plot device for all the characters to be in one place.
It's so
I didn't
dumb.
notice that, but recounting the movie, I guess because it's been a while, like, not a while, like a couple of days since we watched the movie, like maybe 5 at max.
Mm-hmm.
This is like us telling you a dream we had.
Yeah.
And that kind of adds to the charm of the movie.
Yes.
But yeah, his son
is biking.
Biking, and he sees bonger feet.
Mm-hmm.
Or something in the woods.
Yeah, you did it.
And does he like see him directly? Does he get scared, or is it like a oh, there might be something there?
Yeah, he does not see the whole thing.
Oh, but he thinks, I think I saw that bear in the woods.
Yes, exactly. And so our intrepid protagonist
goes hunting for the bear. With his youngest son.
Not the youngest.
It's the older one?
It's the older one.
Okay, with his son.
And I think he's just brought like a pistol. Like he just has like a handgun.
I think it's a handgun, and he set up a tripwire.
Which is like, are you really going to be killing a bear with a handgun?
Or no, it was a barbed wire thing, but I think a bear would just truck that.
Yeah. So a handgun and barbed wire is how you plan to kill a bear.
Yeah. I don't think that's going to work.
Unless you're like headshotting it at close range, I don't think you're going to...
Open the VATS menu, shoot it.
Well, yeah, I'm imagining he does like a matador routine with the bear, or it flings into the barbed wire fence, and then comes up and puts a gangster style.
It's like on the ground, tangled.
Yeah.
And obviously his son is running across the clearing to trick it into running through the barbed wire.
He pulls out his gun gangster style, and then blows the bear's head off.
His son's got one of those like Olympic pole vaulting poles.
Yeah.
So he goes over the barbed wire, and then...
You got it. You figured out his plan.
Yeah.
So, obviously, he's a redneck with no plan.
Yeah.
Who just went into the water... Because here's the thing. What if he had actually found a bear? He has a handgun. Yeah. And his son.
Yeah. Well, trip your son and just freaking book it home.
Like, if he had brought, like, a big-ass rifle or a shotgun or something, I'd be like, okay, that makes...
Well, while it's eating your son, shoot it in the head.
You get what I mean, though, right?
Yeah.
What was his plan?
I think his plan was to be in the movie with a more compelling script.
Yeah. And they see something in
Something
the
in the
woods. But and so he thinks it's like... He knows... At first, I think he sees that it has more like a human shape. And he tells his son that it's probably a hobo in the woods. And it's going to come rob their house or something.
So he's like, we should go on the offensive.
We should go on the offensive.
Shoot him in the dick.
I'm going to go, like, flush him out. When I count to 3, I want you to start running towards the house.
Oh, yeah, you start running towards the house, yep.
And so he starts...
Which is where the barbed wire is in the way of?
Yeah.
So even if he was trying to hunt this thing properly, it was a bear, he would be baiting it towards their house?
Yeah.
Like a proper genius.
And this is actually one of the scenes in which I think they properly managed.
Pretty decent, yeah.
They properly managed to not make it like horrifying, but they build tension.
Yeah.
And that as soon as
I mean, obviously, because it's generally poorly made, I didn't feel that tense.
Yeah.
But if it were
I
made,
mean, like it caused tension.
If it were made, if it were made in a far better movie, this scene could have been genuinely.
And that you can see his immediately horror. Instead of it coming for him as he fired his gun, it goes for the son and starts running after him.
And then the son gets his foot caught in the barbed wire.
Exactly.
Oh, and I want to say they set up the barbed wire earlier because he went to check the type of hair.
Yes, and it had the smelly Bigfoot hair.
And this was one. They set up so many things. They focus on so much that you're like, that's a Chekhov's gun. But this was one of the only ones that was ever actually set up and then used, I think. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, and they talk about how smelly it is with the hair again.
They love their skunk apes.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, his kid gets caught. And what? Does Bigfoot just... Oh, Bigfoot just turns on a dime.
Yeah.
Like, he's just flexing his athletic skills?
It reminded me, like, literally of a scene in Attack on Titan, when one of, like, the Titan shifters is running... it's, like, remember the female Titan arc? Where they'd be, like, trying to trap it into one area and then just turn and move away or something. It literally reminded of something like that. Or these two stupid dirt people trying to deal with this monster and then it just ran away.
Well, no, because it wasn't really a trap, though, so he was just flexing.
Yeah.
Like, I think he ran right up to the kid and then
vaulted.
Yeah.
I thought, did he just vault the barbed wire?
I guess, yeah. He just hurdled the barbed wire to flex on the kid.
Yeah.
And then ran away. Maybe he saw the kid get caught and he was like, I'm going to show this little shit how it's done. And didn't actually want to kill him. Because, yeah, if Bigfoot wanted to... So, yeah, no, because I realized there's no reason that Bigfoot has to not do this.
Yeah.
So I assume he just didn't want to...
Does Bigfoot want murder, though? I don't know if the established character of Bigfoot in this movie wants to murder.
Yeah, I don't know if there's ever really a proper murder attempt.
Because I think he only... Like, the closest thing to a human he does is, like...
He kills the hogs.
He kills, like, a hog at one point.
Yeah.
And so I think from here we can this is kind of the inciting incident because he sees that it's a Bigfoot.
Yeah.
And so basically Bigfoot keeps fucking with him, and he keeps responding.
His wife doesn't believe him, but then she sees it at a certain point, or she hears about it, and she's like, "Oh shit, that's really a Bigfoot." And then he has to call the sheriff, right? And so he does. I think there's a couple more scenes, but he doesn't really go on the offensive. And then he calls the sheriff and tells him there's a bear. And then the sheriff sends out men, which proves earlier when he went to hunt the bear on his own, his wife told him call the sheriff, and he said the sheriff will just tell us to kill herself. Yeah. That's not true. And the sheriff would have come out to kill a bear. Mm-hmm. So he's an idiot.
I love the idea of a because there's some things that are quaint to me about like really small towns. Yeah. But the idea that you can just call the sheriff and he's game to go kill a bear.
Well, I mean, that feels normal, right? Like, if you were like, a bear's eating my trash, they'd send out the park ranger to come 360 no-scope that motherfucker, even in a larger town.
I feel like in the suburbs, they send a SWAT team if there was a bear loose.
Oh, you mean like the sheriff personally coming out to shoot it?
Yeah, that's what I think is
pretty funny.
Of just like some hick with a shotgun coming out to take care of the bear.
Well, they'd only send a SWAT team to kill it in the suburbs. It was a black bear.
Hey. Social commentary.
Social commentary. Deep social commentary.
Happy Juneteenth, everyone, when this is coming out.
Wait, is it It's like, I thought it was June 18th today.
Yeah, the 19th is probably when this is coming out.
Which, you know, I guess that was officially made a holiday.
Yes, it was by Joseph Entertainment Biden.
Nice.
Free the slaves.
Yeah.
We did it.
We did it, boys! Racism is over!
We freed the slaves. We did it, guys.
Racism is no more, lads.
I will celebrate it by singing John Brown's Body.
Yeah.
Something.
And that brings me, sure, you're celebrating the white... No, I'm joking.
John Brown is based as fuck.
Yeah, no.
Watch that video.
Anyways, back to the part where Bigfoot freed the slaves.
Yeah.
But yeah, the sheriff shows up. And...
Would you remember that? Not know that was canon to Back at the Barnyard lore?
Oh, Bigfoot was Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, Bigfoot was Abraham Lincoln. So in
that's
back
a TV show on Nickelodeon
it
from
was
like 5 years ago.
Oh, probably longer than that.
I thought it was. I guess it was more like 8 years ago. I guess.
Yeah, go watch Back in the Barnyard. It's amazing.
Yep.
But
I diagnose you with dead.
In that, Bigfoot was canonically Abraham Lincoln.
Yep.
Meaning that canonically...
And a reality TV show host.
Yeah. Meaning that in that universe, canonically Bigfoot did free the slaves.
Yep.
I'm glad we're really bringing the truth out.
Well, yeah. So what movie were we... No, I'm joking.
So, but basically there's a series of escalations, which is like first Bigfoot steals his chickens, then it like...
No, it steals his hogs.
Well, it kills the chickens first.
Yeah, no, but no, well, yeah, that happens, and then we get to the point where he calls the sheriff.
Yeah.
And so then the sheriff, they go hunting for it.
Mm-hmm.
And
at one point he gets up on a deer stand to try to like wait for the monster.
That's way later.
Oh, okay.
They go hunting. Remember the scene where all three of them go hunting for it?
That wasn't the sheriff's guys. Those are just beer buddies.
No, one of them was the sheriff.
No. The sheriff was an older guy. He meets him in the diner.
No, but that's not the first time he meets him. I swear that was the sheriff who went hunting. Look it up right now.
There's no plot synopsis.
Okay, then I guess we're the foremost source, and I say you're an asshole.
Okay.
But no, he calls the sheriff, and the three of them go hunting in the woods.
I don't think so, but okay.
And then one of them stays at the porch, and they talk because they're guarding the house during the night.
It wasn't the sheriff, it was his two friends.
No, it was the sheriff.
It was literally his two drinking buddies.
No, it was the sheriff. He doesn't have two drinking buddies in the movie.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, the guys offering to play poker?
Yeah.
But when did the sheriff come out then? Because I know he comes out before he does the deer stand shit.
Yeah, later on.
Oh, so
it's after the diner scene.
So he gets his two drinking buddies to go out?
Yes.
Okay. And he hunts them with his two drinking buddies.
Don't find it.
I think they see him in the woods distantly, and the guy shoots. They're like, what if that was a guy?
Yeah.
And then the guy's like, oh shit. And they walk over and check it, and nothing.
Yeah. They also, at one point, just find that Bigfoot is constructed a teepee. Yeah. Yeah. Bigfoot just, like, apparently casually goes around just felling trees and building Native American housing implements.
I think Bigfoot may have made a deal with the natives.
Well, actually, that's not too far off from Native American legends.
You know what? Let's not talk about Native American legends in a podcast about something in the woods.
Oh, I don't give a shit.
Well, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, we're recording this a day late, which is all your fault.
It's all your fault.
Because you were driving drunk at the time of the car crash.
Oh, God. But yeah, another thing, Sasquatch was literally, if you're a real powerful wizard, you could anamorph into a Sasquatch. So canonically, Abraham Lincoln anamorphs into a Sasquatch. I think that's what we've learned.
Uh-huh.
But his drinking buddies, they don't do anything. They fire their guns a bunch at one point for no reason.
Oh, yeah. And then they go home. One of the guys stays to go on the porch.
And then the wife kicks him out.
And they have witty banter. No, he just goes in. The wife doesn't kick him out.
No, the wife's like, does he have to stay? At one point.
I don't think so.
Oh, wait, doesn't she bribe him with sex to get his drinking buddy out of there?
No, that's earlier in the movie.
Oh, okay.
She tries to have sex with him.
Yeah, our protagonist is constantly getting cock-blocked by Bigfoot.
Yeah.
He's constantly trying to sire a third son, but his Bigfoot shenanigans keep interrupting it.
Yeah. But yeah, anyways, his brother's waiting on the porch looking for Bigfoot at the night just to protect the house. You know, castle laws and all.
Mm-hmm.
And then nothing happens, and the guy drives home.
Yes.
I think the guy who drives Holmes' wife wants him home.
Yeah.
And then earlier he called the main character's wife, ball and chain.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, look who's ball and chain now.
Ha,
and that was a hilarious witty banter I referenced.
Ha ha ha.
You could remix that.
Ha 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 ha.
Ha
Ha ha ha.
ha 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 ha.
I'm a serious rap me artist.
Okay.
Okay.
That's gonna be the pinnacle of your career.
What happened next, big brain man?
I don't know.
Bigfoot. Can we fast forward through?
Was that when the Bigfoot showed up at his son's window?
Yeah. Yes, it was. Thank you for.
You tell this scene.
Okay, so this scene is the one time it actually gave me like chills, which isn't saying that it was an amazing movie, just that I have a weak mind. But that basically, the Bigfoot walks up to the kid's window at night and puts his hand on it and is like whispering sweet nothings into the little boy's ear. He says, 7 years ago, this nation was... And so he gives the entire Gettysburg...
Go ahead, give the whole Gettysburg Address.
7 years ago, this country did some bomb-ass shit because these British guys didn't want us to. But now we sit here in the precipice of dog shit. And we, as God-fearing Americans, need to go kick those Southern guys.
Keep going.
Some people died in this battlefield, but it was totally sick.
Wait, what if we just say that because we reference Abraham Lincoln, that the reason we're releasing this a day late is for Juneteenth? Come on. Okay, this is the Avant Garbage Special Juneteenth edition.
Bigfoot freed the slaves.
Bigfoot freed the slave. That's the title. Avant Garbage Juneteenth edition. Bigfoot freed the slaves. See, now I was in a car crash, but also but if you peel back that excuse, it was for Juneteenth that we released it a day late.
Bigfoot freed the slaves.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what do you think of that scene?
I mean, it was definitely good. Although, here's the issue with that scene.
Mm-hmm.
Why did Bigfoot talk to the kid and put his hand up to the window? If there's no other sign of him being at all intelligent for the rest of the movie, or any sign of him actually, like, I assume he wants to take the kid, but then he didn't take the kid earlier.
Yeah.
He just twisted around him. So
He likes him young.
The question is, why the fuck does he not, like, go savage mode and take the kid if he wanted to attack them earlier?
I don't even know if he wanted to take the kid. Maybe he was just looking around. He was just bored.
No, I'm saying, why doesn't he? If he has not shown any sign of intelligence earlier and just attacks blindly.
Well, he wasn't actually talking to him. He was just, like, whispering.
But he put his hand on the window.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, we're friends. But earlier he was trying to kill the other guy.
I mean, I not have seen through... Well, no, he never actually tries to murder anyone.
Well, he murders the pigs.
Yeah.
And he tries to do a home invasion.
Yeah, but he never, like,
movie?
tries to... Yeah, they've been shooting at him for an entire movie.
Well, that's fair.
It's Bigfoot's... You reference castle doctrine. The woods are Bigfoot's home.
Yeah, but I think...
And really, he's a Native American shaman that is trying to take his land back from white people. Are you really going to deny him that?
Yeah.
But then, yeah, the next morning at breakfast, because of course our director...
Bigfoot talked to me.
The monkey man talked to me.
I really
he
forgot
talks funny.
how much they use meals as a plot device.
The monkey man talks funny.
Oh, and the older son's voice is definitely dubbed over.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just thought I'd say that.
The monkey man talks funny.
The monkey man talks funny. No, he just starts by going, he talks funny.
Yeah.
And it's like, what fuck, kid? What are you, cryptic asshole?
Yeah. It's like they wanted their very own Sixth Sense kid.
Yeah.
But all they had was his cousin who was kicked in the head by a mule.
Real attention-seeking behavior there.
Yeah.
Starting with, like, nothing, so the people are all like, oh, who talks funny, dude?
Was it cousin, or was it Uncle Jerry? We told you he wasn't allowed here after last time.
He talks funny. Who? Oh, the Bigfoot guy. When did you hear him talk? He was at my window last night.
This whole movie just makes me think that Harry and the Hendersons would have ended really different if it was set in Texas. At like the first scene where he hits it with the car, he would just like run it over multiple times to make sure it was dead.
He would have got out, pulled his 3 shotguns out of his glove box and then blasted Bigfoot.
I think morally for science, he should have handed over Bigfoot to the government.
I don't know. Bigfoot was pretty cool, though.
No, but like right away. Before he knew he was a good dude.
But why?
Because we gotta know that Bigfoot's real.
Trust the government with Bigfoot?
I don't know. Give it to Bryan Cranston. He knows what to do with it.
Who is Bryan Cranston again?
Walter White.
Oh.
He knows exactly. He'll have him cooking in the lab.
Bigfoot can cook meth.
Yeah. What do you think he was doing? He's like always... Wait, okay, think about it. What's true of both meth heads and Bigfoot? Smell bad.
Okay.
Often in like the wilderness.
Are meth heads often in the wilderness?
Well, they gotta go out in a secluded area to cook the meth.
Does meth head mean they're cooking it?
Oh, I was sorry. I was rather...
Meth dealers?
Meth dealers, yeah. Out in the wilderness doing shit.
Mm-hmm.
Smell bad. Try to fuck your wife. These are all 3 things that Bigfoot and meth dealers share.
Have fucked your wife.
Yeah.
That's another one.
Jesse Pinkman. Yeah.
No, Bigfoot.
Oh, but
and I just assume that's true for meth dealers.
Oh, I thought you were referencing the episode 1 of Breaking Bad.
Whose wife does he fuck?
He's jumping out of a window after he's fucking the neighbor woman.
But we don't know if that's a wife.
They said it was a married woman.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Hmm.
There's our review, episode 1 of Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
You will be cucked by a meth dealer.
Yeah, well, you have been.
You have been. You just don't know yet.
So having my first 3 divorces.
I'm sorry to break...
Well, it was Bigfoot, not the meth dealer.
I'm sorry to break you the news like this, but...
Yeah, your wife had sex with Bigfoot and a meth dealer.
Yeah.
Sometimes, both at once.
Or they're the same person.
Sometimes the meth dealer was dressed as Bigfoot, and Bigfoot pretended he was a human.
It also means that your wife has been fucked by Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
Which really is her patriotic duty. So I think you should forgive her.
Yeah, you could... well, not for Bigfoot. Not for the other guy.
But wasn't Abraham Lincoln gay?
What?
I could have sworn that was a thing.
I feel like... I mean, maybe. But I feel like there's enough historical evidence to say that anyone is both gay, definitely not gay, definitely bisexual, definitely not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but before there was social
really
media, every man was giving the other man a hand job. Before like porn was available, when you got real horny with another guy,
So you said when you get horny, you think about giving men hand jobs?
No, I'm saying there's no alternative.
Oh, okay.
Just like it was like.
Is that like if I was forced into a self-defense situation,
well, you know how
I would
like,
kill that person. If I was forced into a situation where there's no alternative, I would have to jerk off a man.
Well, it's like, you know how in prison there's no women, so even people who are straight otherwise will fuck.
If I were hypothetically put into a situation,
but you understand
where there was no one around, I would give a man a hand job.
You understand what I'm saying there, right?
No.
There are people...
I think everyone in prison becomes gay. It's in the water.
You get what I'm saying, though. Like, people who are otherwise straight will have gay sex in prison because that's their only option, right? Back in the day, they couldn't just watch porn to jerk off.
Yeah.
And if they were too...
Well, weren't there hookers back
If they were too skinny to hold down a woman, like Abraham Lincoln...
Well, weren't there hookers back in the day?
He was poor and too skinny to hold down a woman.
Not once he got older.
Oh, wait, no, he was like a champion wrestler.
Yeah.
He's in the, like, Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Never mind, Abraham Lincoln was Giga Chad, and he was Bigfoot.
If I were forced into a situation where there were no women around, I would have sex with a man, okay? But I'm straight.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I think about this a lot. I mean, no, I don't.
Sounds like a Jerry Seinfeld bit.
What?
What's the deal with homosexuality? I mean, I wouldn't do it unless there was no women.
Wait, why does that sound?
Then you'd have to force me to do it.
Why the hell does that sound like a Jerry Seinfeld?
It was your cadence. It's a real clusterfuck of episode.
End it. Podcast is over.
But,
I don't care anymore. B-movie! B-movie is the next episode.
So, throughout the...
That's right, I just locked us into it. We're reviewing the B-movie next, boys.
Do you just want to skip the climax of the film since it's pretty
repetitive?
repetitive?
I think pretty much the movie is just Bigfoot hijinks, eating scene, Bigfoot hijinks, eating scene. But there's one more beautiful eating scene before this.
Oh, you tell it.
That's the diner scene, boys.
You go for it.
Okay, so the boy goes with his family to the diner, the town diner. Okay, and he's chilling. He's eating the food, And then the drunk guy from the beginning of the movie, or the beginning of the third flashback,
Yeah.
and his friend are talking about sex and rape. Actually, they're talking about getting one. So it's like not like physical rape, but like getting someone drunk.
Yeah.
Rape, and they're saying it real loud. And the biggest concern our main character has about a guy recounting how he raped a woman is, could you speak a little quieter in front of my family?
Yeah.
And then he's like, fuck you. And he's like, at least go rape a woman in the alley instead of in front of my family. And then he's like, you are not my boss when I'm not at work. And then he's like, you're a piece of shit. And then the guy's like, I'm gonna fight you. And then he gingerly places the drunk guy's face in the plate. It's just watch this scene. Go buy it on Amazon Prime just to watch this scene.
You can watch it free with ads.
Oh, just skip to this scene. It's so beautiful. He just gingerly places his face, like really slowly, into his plate of food. And then, is that the only thing, or does he like also punch his friend?
Yeah, he also punches him.
He does a really fake punch on his friend. And then the sheriff shows up.
Like, I think we've practiced, like, fake wrestling punches.
Yeah.
And I think ours look better than that.
Yeah. And then the sheriff shows up and he's like, now what the hell is going on in here? And then he's like, he was talking about raping someone, which is totally fine. Not that there's anything
It's
wrong
legal in
with
Texas.
that. Yeah. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it was in front of my family. And then the sheriff is like, well, then he deserved it, and this literal assault is gonna go completely unnoticed. And then the guy who gets his face slammed in his plate goes, he got mashed potatoes on my face. And it's really funny.
So, the climax
I
of the
forget, what was this movie about?
The climax of the movie, he's in a deer stand.
Yep, with dangling his feet off low enough that Bigfoot could definitely kill him.
Yeah, he could definitely just, like, pick him up and use him as a fucking swing him
Use
around.
his body as a fleshlight.
Yeah, just swing him around. Use his body as a condom to fuck his wife.
Uh-huh.
And, like, swing him around and murder him. But the Bigfoot gets into the barn, and then he,
No. He goes down and finds out that he actually just shot his hog.
Oh.
And then he goes back in, and then his wife probably tries to have sex with him or something.
Yep.
And then, yeah, Bigfoot is trying to steal his farm tools.
Yeah.
And then
Bigfoot loves weed whackers.
And then he confronts Bigfoot.
But Bigfoot, like, pushes him against the wall.
And
like,
is about to presumably disembowel him.
No, he never,
with
like...
a garden hose?
He never, like, tries to murder him. He just kind of, like, when he tries to get up, the Bigfoot, like, pushes him back down and kind of makes a motion, like, don't get back up.
Yeah.
Like shut the fuck
Stay
up.
down, motherfucker.
Stay down, motherfucker, yeah.
And then... Oh, wait, also Bigfoot tried to do a home invasion at some point.
There was a second Bigfoot.
No.
There's two Bigfeet.
This was before that was revealed.
Oh.
Earlier, in the movie, Bigfoot tried to do a home invasion.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Dad wasn't there. The wife was like, hide behind this. They had him hide behind a lamp table.
Yeah.
Which is, you can obviously see the kids were behind it.
Also, Bigfoot could not physically get in the house anyways.
Well, he could have
ducked
and, like, shrugged his shoulders or went through sideways and ducked.
Didn't she have a gun?
Yes, she had a gun.
So she could have killed it.
He definitely, yeah. Although she fired it before he even got in the house, so if he did find his way in, she probably would have been wrecked.
Yeah.
On a spiritual level.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, yeah, the final reveal of the movie, there's two Bigfeets.
There's two Bigfeet. And they, like, drive away, and there's a scene where, like, the kids wave into the Bigfoot.
Is there?
Yes, it's so dumb.
Oh.
The littlest kid is waving to the Bigfoot.
Fucking traitor.
I know, right?
I'm sure he told Bigfoot about their secrets.
No, think about it, okay?
Bigfoot mind controlled him.
No, who is Bigfoot?
Abraham Lincoln.
Who are these people?
Texans.
Southerners.
So, fuck.
Bigfoot is both on behalf of the Native American people and of the Union, is taking out these goddamn Johnny Rebs.
Yep, and then the kid is a traitor. He's, well, a traitor against the Confederacy, so not a traitor.
So we like him.
He's fighting for the Union.
Exactly.
Right? And that's why this is a Juneteenth special episode.
Does that mean? Do you think the Loch Ness monster is then a lost causer to counteract it?
I bet the Loch Ness monster is definitely a lost
Well, he's
causer.
Scottish. I don't think he cares.
Okay, what monster do you think is a lost causer?
It has to be like a South or like American South sort of.
You pick any monster. Just which one gives you the vibe of a lost causer?
I think Mothman.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I don't really get that vibe from him.
You don't think he jumps in front of you and levitates so he can tell you how General Sherman was a war criminal and actually the South seceded because of taxes?
No, I'm trying to think. I feel like he's, you don't have that energy where the lost causers, they're trying to come off like an academic.
Yeah.
Even though they're basically just saying stupid shit.
Well, that's what I think Mothman is. So many of the stories, he just hovered in front of people. He's trying to tell them about how the South wasn't that bad.
Yeah, okay, if a lost causer is also a vegan, which one do they tell you first? Okay, that's the question.
They warm you up with the vegan shit, definitely.
Okay, they're like, yeah, I'm definitely vegan. Okay, now, you were talking about the Civil War, definitely wasn't about slavery.
Yeah.
God, I'm trying to think what monster really embodies the lost causer spirit. Maybe Dracula. You know, he likes to think he's all fancy.
But then he's like eating someone's artery.
Yeah, he's an asshole. He's all oh, I'm so fancy.
Like, I'm a refined southern slave owner.
I refuse to be shipped anywhere but dirt from Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
Because other dirt smells weird and like dirt.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And he's like, can I tell you about this? That's actually how he kills his victims. Is he just tells them about the lost cause, and then they kill themselves.
And so, after our protagonist leaves, we then jump back up the ladder of reality.
Yep.
As we go through in the two flashbacks, Deep, he finishes his story.
Yep.
And then the dad finishes his story.
Yeah, like Inception.
Yeah, it's like when they
Except better than Inception.
It's like when they detonate the bomb at the end of Inception, and it all synchronizes.
Yeah.
Except if Inception were about Bigfoot and terrible.
Imagine being the guy driving the car on the first level.
Yeah.
Of Inception. You just missed an entire badass movie. All you did was drive a van off a bridge.
Which one was driving the car?
I don't think he was one of the main principals.
Oh, he was just some guy they grabbed?
I think he was specifically their driver.
Yeah.
And then Gordon Gekko was left on the hotel level.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
Yeah. And then I think the snow level was the final one.
I think something like that.
Or maybe there was one more, but...
We need to watch that movie again.
Yeah, at some point.
Do you have any final thoughts on Something in the Woods? Just about the general filmmaking, lack thereof?
Oh, wait, the final scene, the guy drives down the road, he gets out of his car and looks into the woods. There might be Bigfoot. Final scare. Oh my god, is there Bigfoot? Let's create
After we've shown him?
Yes, let's create a 20-minute game theory video about
dun, 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 dun.
I
I think we should watch a good movie next so we actually have things to say about it.
Yeah, no, these episodes are definitely going to be shorter.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a broken record. Basically, this movie showed a couple of flashes of brilliance, but they were always muddled, or flashes of competency.
Yeah.
But they were always muddled by the overall poor quality of the movie. Not even just the gear they made it with. None of the actors were particularly great, except for a guy who's in the first flashback.
Maybe 5-10 minutes screen time.
5-10 minutes of screen time, and that's 5 is probably even generous. It's probably more like 3 or 4. And so yeah, basically, not terrible but poor acting.
Mm-hmm.
There
was this one scene in particular where you can tell the wife's actress thought this was her Oscar moment.
Oh yeah, when Bigfoot's breaking into the house, she's screaming like the woman from The Shining, but even worse.
Yeah, exactly.
It literally felt like she was just trying to do a copy of the woman Shining scream.
The guy thought he was Stanley Kubrick with Bigfoot.
Yeah. Should have tortured them with birds a little bit more.
Wait, that was a different director.
Every director that made a movie before 1950 is the same.
I don't know if Kubrick directed a movie before 1950.
Okay, before 2 years ago. God damn it.
Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
He tortured so many actors with birds.
Yeah. That guy was an asshole.
Tarantino?
No. The guy who tortured them with
Alfred
birds.
Hitchcock?
Yeah. Or prick.
Did you just straight up make a movie about birds, attacking people?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. I think it was called Birds.
But he was known for like making like complex thrillers with mysteries and stuff, and then he made a movie about birds attacking people.
Well, it's a real movie because he actually attacked people with birds. So.
Do you think he's like a fucking like Batman villain who controls birds, and he's gonna rob banks and take over Gotham City using birds?
And also Bigfoot and a Native American and Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln is Bigfoot. If you kill Bigfoot, that's unpatriotic, bitch.
Yeah, motherfucker. Hell yeah.
I didn't even hit on stop recording.